Welcome once again. It's kind of interesting to talk about an event that is called the Spring Swing Fling on a day when it's snowing like crazy in downtown Reno. I'm sure we don't kid you. We pre-record these shows, and it is snowing, and we hope we will have spring, and we hope we will have a spring fling. And we're going to find out about that because my guest today on the program is a gentleman by the name of Andrew Ivanoff. Andrew, welcome to our show. Nice to have you here. Are you optimistic that we're going to see some spring here in Reno fairly soon?
I think so, definitely, because it's has been sort of a very cold few months just now, you know, with the storm we had last week and so forth. Yeah, I just hope that'll be a change.
Tell us about the Spring Fling. What is that?
Well, it is an annual fair, usually for May of month. All the Americans are being celebrated, as well as our Lifescapes writing program. And this is a fair is sponsored by the City of Reno, as well as by the Los Angeles County Libraries, as well as OLLI. Mm-hmm. And we are all in the Lifescapes writing program. So we're having this sort of a annual event at Roberto Miguel Ribeiro Park. It'll be at the Neal Recreation Center. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And we'll have a ice cream social. It's free. And as well as the big band, dance band, that'll be dancing as well.
Who's appearing? Do you know for the
Brass Knuckles. It's a big band, Brass Knuckles, and so they'll be playing for us. And of course, there'll be dancers in there, I think, from the dancing classes and so forth. But most of the people will be represented by Lifescapes members from different libraries.
This writing project about Lifescapes, I know it's phenomenal, and I know you mentioned
this is the 11th year.
That the senior programs from the university, through that university program that they have, are very involved in that. And I know you get some great life stories. Now, do you do this on video, or is it a written life story? Are you able to catalog and keep these life stories?
Yes, it's being published. We have now some 500 people written some of their memoirs, and we have published it in books as well as it's on the website. Mm-hmm. It's the website is www.washoucountylibrary.us. And you can get to the website and read those books as well. There's over 300 books published, and they are available for free on the website.
Is the Washoe County Library your major sponsor of this, or are they taking part in it? They're the major sponsor.
Yes, it's in conjunction with the UNR. This program started and so on, and they're the main, so we use the library facilities for our classes as well.
Now, on the date you have the Spring Fling, will people during that day be repeating some of their lifescapes?
No, it'll be just social event.
Just to call attention
just to call attention to it, that's right. And usually we sell some of the anthology books that have been written by the groups and so on. That'll be available there for sale and so on.
Now the books you sell, that's not just limited, I wouldn't think, to just the local people, but other states as well? Or
no, just this is strictly for a local area.
All right, so these are the local stories. Right. How are these books get published? There must be some kind of a charge for actually publishing, printing the books. How does that all work?
Yeah,
and who does the publishing?
Usually each person who publishes a book, I published 5 books already. And
of your life story?
Life story. It's called autopoemography, I call it. Mm-hmm. And it's published and also recorded on the website as well. Mm-hmm. And usually you have 5 books for free, and then the rest of them you have to pay yourself, which is, approximately.
I detect some kind of an accent there. What is your background your nationality?
On nationality, my parents were Russian.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was born in China.
Tell us something about your lifescape experiences. Some of the things that you'd written about. Was it correlated with any of the wars or anything like that?
Yes, it's mostly correlated with the World War II, since I was more in China during that particular time. You know, we were all sequestered in that area.
Were you in that war?
No, I was just a kid.
Oh, okay, all right.
So I was just living at that time. My parents were living in business at first, and then, of course, it was tough times during the wartime.
Because Japan was involved in coming into China.
Starting way back with the Manchuria, 1929, and so forth, and then, of course, they invaded China and so forth. But yes, it was under Japanese control.
As a child, were you under the control of the Japanese at any time?
Yes, we were.
And you write about this, I would assume,
Yes,
in your
I did,
lifescapes?
Yes. I did, yes. Going to Japanese schools and going to, of course, at that time also French schools, since I was more or less involved in Shanghai. And it was a colonial area.
But you never felt threatened or anything during that time?
No. We had at the latter part of the war, because bombing was constant, but outside of that wasn't that much.
And how did you, as a Russian, how did you happen to end up in China?
Well, my parents, after the revolution, it's more or less emigrated to, because there are a lot of white Russians immigrated to China, and there's a whole bunch. There was close to some 9,000 immigrants who came in escaping the communist rule. And so that's how they end up.
Right now, you're a child in China. You grow up. When do you first come to the United States?
Oh, I came to the United States in 1950, and shortly I got married and was drafted
Into the American Army.
in the American Army, and was sent to Germany.
Okay, now wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You're a Russian who grew up in China. You come to the United States, you get in our army, and then you go to Germany.
Yeah.
You must have written 5,000 or 6,000 pages about your life.
See, I took the tests in languages, and I took tests in 12 languages, and so they decided instead of sending me to Korea, I'll be more effective in Europe. So they sent me to Germany, G2 section.
Ivan, how could someone who may be listening or watching this interview right now, how could they become involved in doing their own lifescapes?
They just come to any library, and just ask for lifescapes, and that will direct them right to some of the leaders who are running the classes.
And you can see these at any library in Washoe County?
Library in Washoe County.
Okay, so if I want to go in and say, hey, I want to find out all about Ivan, I just talked to him this morning, I'm going to find, what, 4 or 5 of your lifescape stories at the library?
Each library has books in there of each one, because they're distributed all throughout the library, and all those accumulate in special section, and where you can read them or even borrow them.
You can take them out.
Or you take them out, right. And also you can go on the website and read them that way. That's even easier.
Tell us again about the Spring Fling Day. Tell us the date, tell us the times, tell us the participants.
It'll be on May 8, and it'll be from 2 to 5 at the Neil's Sports Center.
The Neil Road.
Neil Road, yes. And it's right, it's called the Miguel Ribeiro Park area.
Very familiar with it.
Yeah. And like I said, we have a raffle. It's usually considered a dance in the ice cream social, so anybody is welcome.
And you'll have a little dance band there, and they'll actually be
yes,
dancing that day.
The Bruce Eccles Band will be playing there.
What time does it start? What time does the event get underway?
At 2 o'clock and 2 to 5.
Well, it sounds great, and it's not just necessarily limited the people our age who might want to talk about lifescapes,
Anybody,
but you can bring the grandchildren who may want to find out about something like this, or the general public can come in.
People, anybody, just we wish to come in and enjoy the music as well, you know.
I think this is fantastic, and I think that it helps keep seniors particularly active and alert into what they're doing with regard to their past experiences. And it also leaves a good legacy for people to read about those past experiences.
Yes, those memoirs are really for the progeny, you know, mainly for the authors want to leave something to their children, grandchildren especially, who they were, what they were doing, and so forth.
Ivan, thank you very much for being our guest. You're a very interesting gentleman, and I've enjoyed having a conversation with you. And let's remind everybody again that this is coming up one final time.
May 8th.
May the 8th.
At the
2 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
2 to 5 at
the
Rivera
Park and
right.
On Neal Road there.
Right.
And you'll be right there. You'll be one of the
Oh yes,
participants
one of the
and one of the
greeters
stars.
in there will be there welcoming people.
Well, thank you very much for being here, and please join us again next time when we have another very interesting guest to talk about some things we all need to know about. Thanks for watching.